Hello, this is Jack with RV Cruising with the Kings, and I decided to do another cooking video. Hi, this is Jack.
And I'm Karen.
And you are RV Cruising with the Kings. About a 4-pound brisket. It's probably one of the smaller I've cooked. We're going to give this a shot. It's just Karen and me, so there's not a lot to feed, so we're going to give this a shot and see with a small flat if I can make a very nice, juicy, tender brisket on the smoker. One of the first things I need to do is there's not hardly any trimming. There's a little bit of dark right in here. We're going to just take this a little bit off there. But overall, this brisket is very well trimmed for the size. There's not hardly any fat, just about the right amount. Fat cap on the back here. There's just a touch there. I want to trim up. And that's mainly just because it's got, I don't know if they call it oxidizing or what, but it's just, or it's been laying there, and just as it'll make, I don't know how well you can see it, just a tiny bit of darkness. And that's just from just kind of laying in the packaging, waiting for somebody to come around to cook it. But overall, this looks excellent. Because you want to leave about a 1/4 inch on the fat cap. So I'm not going to play with that too much. I'm going to call that good. I'm not going to put any binder on this. I don't think it really needs it. We are going to season a little bit with a couple different profiles, flavor profiles. This one's just a little more sweet. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and get the back done. So I'm going to flip it over to finish. I won't have to worry with it. This one has got a little more peppery flavor, and it's a little heavier texture. Which will be good, and it'll help with the bark. So make sure you get your ends. I really smell the big cracked pepper in that one. This is going to be great. That's probably the easiest prep I've ever done. So now it's just a matter of heating up the grill, and I'm going to let this set for a while, let it come up to room temperature, let it sweat, and let some of these seasonings get into the meat good before we smoke it. And I'll try to time this out so that I'll be able to rest it for a couple hours in the cooler prior to cutting it. So This is almost 4 pounds, so it's going to take probably close to 4 hours total to cook it, and then a couple hours resting. So we're talking 6 hours. So that's what I'm going to try to shoot for have it ready for supper. As you can see, this looks really good with the seasoning on it. You can see the larger seasonings on it. The pepperings, the aroma of it just sitting here like this is wonderful. So I think we got a good shot of making a good brisket flat this afternoon. Whew, can't wait. Well, I got a little worried about it being so small, about it being not moist enough when we finished, so I whipped together a real quick injection for it. It's very simple. I just used got about a cup of beef stock, which I actually did with a bouillon cube. I've got about a tablespoon of brown sugar, a little salt, a little Worcestershire sauce, a little onion powder, and that's really about it. There's not much in it, so very simple. It's got a little sweetness, a little salt in there for it to work with the meat, and we're going to inject that. And here, when we do inject it, we're going to inject it with the grain, because the grain you can see is running this way. And I also put a little notch in my beef right there, so when it cooks and I'm looking at it and I can't see the grain, I'll know to slice it this way across the grain. So, but I'm going to inject, and we're going to inject all over with the direction of the meat. You can see it plumping up a little bit as we do this, and you'll see it's a little bit of marinade come out. There we go. That's it. So I have no doubt this is going to be nice and moist after this. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, here we are, ready to put it on. We got the smoker up to 200 degrees right now. Got it fat cap down. We're going to cook it real low temperature in the beginning. We'll crank it up a little bit later to get it to cook off a little quicker. But in the beginning, we're going to start it out, smoke it up really good at 200 degrees. Well, we're finally hit our 200 degree, 201 degree mark on the brisket. I hit a stall point at 150 and might have been a little slow at wrapping, but I wrapped it in butcher paper and kept bumping it up a little bit. Finally got it where we're at now, so I'm hoping this isn't a fail. It could be, but I'm hoping this is not a fail. Thank goodness I put the injection in it, and because if anything, that would have saved me, I think. When I wrapped it, it was in the 155 degree range, and it felt pretty good, but it's just taking forever to get it bumped up to where I want it. In the last hour, I think I bumped it to 300, and it finally pushed it to the temperature. So I'm going to pull it now. I'm going to put it in a cooler and let it set for an hour. And I was hoping to have this done in the cooler an hour and a half ago. So I put it on. It's 4-pound brisket. I put it on at 10 o'clock this morning at 200, just for the heavier smoke. I bumped it up to 225 in about 2 hours. And then it just stalled. It got up to 150, it stalled. I wrapped it in the paper and bumped it to 250 because it was really bad stall. And I let it sit there for quite a while. It didn't seem to be pushing as much as I wanted, so I bumped it to 275, and then at the very tail end I bumped it to 300. So it's been on there since 10 o'clock this morning, and it's 5:30, and this is a 4-pound flat. So that's a long time to be able to smoke it. So my time schedule was shot to hell, needless to say. But we're going to pull it now. I'm going to stick it in. I wanted to rest it for 2 hours, but I'm going to rest it for 1 hour, and then we're going to cut it and see what happens. All right, it's in the cooler, and we'll just see what happens. Cross your fingers for me again, and we'll see. Hopefully this turns out to be good. All right, here we are. We've been resting over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Yo, mama, it's hot. This looks exceptional. And we're going to cut across the grain. I'm going to take a little bit because I would have guessed this would be not as good because it's at the end. But I'd be lying. Unbelievable. Look at that smoke ring. And we're going to keep cutting down. The bark looks great. Hot. Ooh, an easy tug. Well, to be quite honest, it's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. It's got a lot of moisture in it, got a lot of great taste to it. It tugs good smoke ring, incredible flavor. So we're going to break down here and we're going to eat. And we hope y'all have a great day. And so from Karen and me, y'all don't get left behind. And I hope y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all very soon.